Hello everyone and welcome back to Football Manager 2021 and the third part of this experiment where we're taking a look at what would happen if you had the best player possible in the game. Now so far we've gone forward from the ages of 14 all the way to the age of 29. He's currently at Liverpool where he's having a pretty good time of it, coming to the end of his fifth year as a Liverpool player, or the end of his fourth full year, sorry, just entering his fifth year. This will be his fifth and final year at Liverpool before I make the termination of his contract mandatory, and he will need to find a new place. I'm hoping it isn't just continuously in the Premier League, but I'm not too worried if it is. This is all about him winning as many trophies as possible. And today we're going to go forward to the point of retirement and see if there is a potential future manager in the greatest player of all time, because if he could become the greatest manager of all time, then I'm going to want to see that out in maybe one more part of this experiment, which just looks at his post-footballing career and what he's like as the perfect manager. Now if you would like to see an extra part of this experiment, just taking it that step further, do drop a like down below. Make sure I know you guys are interested, and also if you're new to the channel, please do check and make sure that you're subscribed down below as well. It really does help the channel grow. Now looking at his existing success, if we look here, it's already as the game says, phenomenal. His record, 31 competition victories, loads of success in the Premier League, in Italy as well, winning Serie A a few times. He's won 3 Champions League titles now, 2 with Liverpool, 1 with Chelsea, but he has not yet won the World Cup with England. That is the big outstanding competition, despite 2 European Championships and 3 International League titles. So he's won silverware with England, but not the one that we're all hoping for, the holy grail. So hopefully over the last 10-15 years of his contract, he will actually be able to achieve that. Now what I'm going to do is go forward about 3 years in time to start off with, and then after that we'll just jump right to the end of his career so that there's not too much jumping ahead. But if we go forward 3 years, we can see how he gets on in his final season at Liverpool, where he goes next, and then where he's going to end his career as well. So let's just jump forward now and see how he's getting on. So his final season at Liverpool, you can see here, they do reasonably well. A little bit of a shaky patch actually through parts of this, but he's still scoring goals for the club, important goals as well as they win matches, getting through the various competitions. We'll just go through to the business end of the season. You can see they're out in the FA Cup quarter-final, a 2-1 defeat despite his goal. Champions League quarter-finals, they lose 3-2 away from home, but get through on away goals thanks to his goal in the 66th minute at Anfield. It would have sent the crowd absolutely crazy. They then get past Celta Vigo in the Champions League semi-final, 2-1 win at home, and then a 3-2 win away from home. And then in the final, they do win the Champions League. He scores the goal in the first minute at the London Stadium to beat Manchester United in his final match as a Liverpool player. His third Champions League title with Liverpool, 4th overall. That is quite a way to get your send-off as a Liverpool, no doubt, legend at that point. So a really successful outcome for him. Now if we go and have a look at the Jenkaldo Junior profile, you can see he is now at Manchester United, but before he ended up here, he went somewhere else first. So if we look at these career stats, you can see he actually jumped over to Arsenal when the opportunity came up, and you can see the little uptick in form they had after he joined. If we have a quick look at this senior squad schedule for those first few seasons, his very first game was against Wolves. He scores on his debut, as he always does. He also ends up scoring a huge amount of goals for them. They're actually in the Europa League as well, so a great opportunity for him to add another piece of silverware to his record. In the FA Cup, they're going through the various competitions, beating Hamburger SV quite comfortably, 7-1. Out in the FA Cup to Manchester United, his future employers, but in the Europa League they do manage to beat AC Milan 3-1 and then 2-2, taking them through in the semi-final against Schalke, a 3-0 win, followed up by a 1-1 draw, and in the final they lose 2-1 to, of course, Sevilla, who basically own the Europa League. He did score the opening goal in the final, but it was not enough as they were beaten 2-1 and knocked out of the competition. But the following season they made it into the Champions League, and you can see winning games quite comfortably in the group stage, getting through. I think they actually won all 6 games in their group. Through in the Carabao Cup, FA Cup, lovely winning record here as they get through, including in the Carabao Cup semi-final against Chelsea. They get into the Carabao Cup final, and he does win a bit of silverware with Arsenal. A 2-1 victory over Manchester United, giving them the progress. But a 3-3 draw with Celta Vigo is followed up by a 3-1 defeat, and they go out of the Champions League. But still pushing it in the FA Cup, winning 2-1, and then in the final, a 1-0 win. Diogo Diaz with the goal. So he signs off from Arsenal with an FA Cup victory. Now, if we go back to Jenkaldo Jr., you can see that in his time at Arsenal and his last season at Liverpool, 30 goals of regular occurrence, 44, 45 and 42 in all competitions. He is still smashing in the goals. This record overall, absolutely phenomenal. And then looking at these competition wins, you can see his time at Arsenal, he did win another Carabao Cup, FA Cup, nothing there. Anything else? Premier League? Where's the Premier League? Premier Division. No Premier League title with Arsenal. I guess we could also just have a look here at the past winners, and you'll see they finished runner-up the season before. I will just show the league table as well for the complete picture, and you can see this was his last season at Liverpool, a 3rd place finish. The following year they finished in 4th place, 5 points taken from Chelsea for a points deduction. It wouldn't have changed the league position, to be fair, but a 4th place and then a 2nd place, losing out on goal difference. Too many goals conceded, 51 goals conceded, which is the highest or 2nd highest in the entire top 10. That's why they didn't win the league title, both the goal difference but also just not getting enough points. So really disappointing that he wasn't able to get that competition. But the other thing that we just need to have a quick check on before we get to the end of his actual career is how he's done with England, where he now has 227 goals in 199 matches. It is pretty impressive. And if we just go and have a look, going back to where we left off, which is about here, European Championship, beaten by Italy 5-3 in the quarterfinals, so no 3rd European Championship there. The following year, in the International League, beaten by Italy, but then finishing 3rd in the International League. And in the World Cup the following year, you can see 5-0 against New Zealand. He gets 4 goals there. 2-0 against South Korea and 3-1 against Brazil. He scores a hat-trick against Brazil in the second half from 1-0 down to win it 3-1. That is a famous victory. Against Spain, he scores the penalty, the only goal to take them through to the quarterfinals. 2 goals against Belgium in the quarterfinals. He scores against Cameroon in the semi-final. And against Germany, of course it was Germany, in the World Cup final, he scores in the 90th minute to make sure that England win the World Cup in South Africa in front of 109,500 fans. And he's added the greatest competition of all to his record. So that's an extremely impressive biography now. That World Cup win sitting right there, just showing that he is one of the greatest players of all time. The World Cup Golden Boot, he's now won on 7 occasions. I can't believe that's accurate. World Cup Golden Boot 7 times. I think that's a glitch in the Matrix. He's won it 3 times though, which is not bad. The first time, 24 goals. Was he involved in these World Cups as well? Yeah, he was. He finished 2nd there. Oh, he has actually won it 4 times. So he won it there at 17 years old with 10 goals in 7 games. The following season, the following World Cup, he came 2nd with 8 goals in 5 games. The one after that, 24 goals in 7 matches, 10 goals in 5 matches. And when England won the World Cup, 13 goals in 7 matches. He is, without doubt, the greatest goal scorer in the history of the World Cup. I just want to look here. Most overall goals by a player in a season, 24. He's top there. Most man of the match awards. And youngest goal scorer in the World Cup as well at 17 years and 97 days. He really is just absolutely next level good. Yeah, most goals in the season. You can see it there. I don't know if it just has the most goals. Doesn't look like it. but it's quite a record. So what we'll do now, given he's achieved pretty much everything you can want to achieve, is we're just going to see how he sees out the twilight of his career. I will leave him at Manchester United unless he wants to leave of his own volition, but we'll also see how long he plays for, because he's always going to have perfect mental and physical stats, so there's technically no reason for him to ever retire. So let's see how he gets on over the next 10 years or so of his career. Well, we are now at the end of Jenkaldo Jr.'s career. You can see he's currently listed as a head of youth development. He could also be an assistant manager and a coach. If we do another part of this experiment, what I'll do is just change all of these to 20, boost up his manager and maybe director of football stats, and see if he is able to really go on and develop into the greatest manager of all time. But if we take a look at his career stats, over his time at Manchester United, he was there for quite a long time in the end. That was 10 years that he spent at Manchester United as a player, setting all types of records along the way. By far his longest stint as a player. He found a natural home at Manchester United, and he scored a huge amount of goals, getting that 30 goal a season bar. These two, probably two of his best ever seasons, as he got 34 goals in each. 34 Player of the Match awards that season as well. Absolutely playing out of his skin. So if we just very, very quickly run through these last few seasons where he was at Manchester United. I think this would have been his debut, would it? Well, a 2-1 defeat in the first game wasn't great. I'm just seeing if he scores, because otherwise this is not his first season. It looks like that's not his first season. This is his first season. You can see the amount of green on the screen telling us that. But he did, of course, score on his debut against Norwich, a 3-0 win. They beat Liverpool 3-2, 2 goals there as he delivered the victory for them. And then just running through the other competitions, winning the Carabao Cup 2-1 against Bournemouth, but going out against Real Madrid, despite a 4-1 win at home, a 3-0 defeat at the Bernabeu knocks them out of the Champions League. The following season, another Carabao Cup in the bag, 2 of those now, but out in the Champions League to Inter Milan, another former team there, and out to Spurs in the FA Cup as well. The following season, though, getting through in all the competitions, FA Cup final, beating Man City 3-2, but losing to Barcelona in the Champions League. Not a happy return there to the Champions League trophy, where he had a lot of success with Liverpool. But then finally with Manchester United, he wins the Champions League, scoring the first goal for United to level things for them as they take it 3-2 against Barcelona. So it's good that he's managed to get that. Also gets the European Super Cup and the Club World Cup Championship final there, which I missed earlier, 3-0 against Man City. And at the end of the following season, another Carabao Cup final in the bag, another FA Cup in the bag, another Champions League in the bag, 2-1 over Barcelona, and I'm sure a Premier League title in the bag as well. So the absolute clean sweep for the club in that one, including the European Super Cup. So great return there. Another Community Shield and Super Cup, winning pretty much everything. Bristol City in the final there on penalties, they take that one, but out in the Champions League despite 2 draws against Borussia Dortmund. Following year as well, going out in the FA Cup semi-final, but into the Club World Championship, which they do win for a second time, 4 goals in the final there, and again out in the FA Cup final, but no more Champions Leagues at the moment. And then scrolling through, I think we're getting to the end of his actual career here. I'm pretty sure this is the end of it, this season here. So a 3-2 win in the Community Shield. Last time he plays in that, he scores. EFL Cup, looks like he goes out of relatively early. I can't even see the EFL Cup. They actually go out that early in the 3rd round to Arsenal, 1-0. Former team dumping him out. Get through against Nice in the Champions League. FA Cup quarter-final, they go through. Semi-final, they go through 3-2. Barcelona in the Champions League, a 3-3 draw. Not enough, as they're dumped out 3-0 at the Camp Nou. His final game in the Champions League, a 3-0 defeat. A little bit disappointing. He scored twice at home though in his final home Champions League game. And his last ever match is in the FA Cup against Arsenal. A 2-1 victory. Scores the opening goal as well. So he gets to lift the FA Cup in his final match as a player. And this will be the first season for United in 10 years without the greatest player of all time at the club. So he's had a pretty good time. Antonio Rudiger, currently the manager of Manchester United, but he's had a really, really good career, a good time of it. 1,000 league games, 834 goals. It's phenomenal what he's managed to achieve in this time. You can see 63 competition wins, almost certainly making him the most decorated player of all time. Before we do have a look at that though, let's just check in on his time as an England player. Now, of course, he will have retired from international football relatively early. This was when they won the World Cup, where we left off last time. The following season, or following competition, out 3-2 to Belgium in the European Championship, and there's a chance that it's because he was no longer in the team, and I think he actually has retired already after winning the World Cup with England. I'm pretty sure that's his last game with England, and you can see they don't have as much success without him, losing in the quarterfinals there. They do win another international league on penalties, but that's everything. That's all they have after that. So he actually retired after winning the World Cup with England, which with 2 European Championships, at least 3 international leagues and a World Cup, you can probably understand that. He has won absolutely everything he can in all the places that he's been, winning so many league titles among other things, so many individual awards. English Player of the Year 54 times. I think that's another glitch, but he certainly won it a lot. And it's just fantastic, really. I'll let you pause the screen and have a read of this if you're interested, but he has retired now as a player. It's all over for him. I don't think there's anything else to even check in on, other than just to bask in the glory of his time as a player. Now, if you would like to see how he gets on as the perfect manager in a one-off additional part to this experiment, do drop a like down below. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're new as well. But until next time, see ya.